Hello everyone, I am Navron, uh, and welcome to this series that I'm starting called Anti-Tier List. I couldn't think of an original name, so I'm going to call it Anti-Tier List. I'm an A-tierist. And the reason for this series is uh, not to infringe on anyone's opinion of whether a tier list or not should exist, but to explain why, in my opinion, tier lists should not exist. Um, People believe that some characters are better overall better than others based on their individual merits and not as a team composition. If you if you are worried about how one character stacks up against another character of a similar class without completely comparing their strengths and weaknesses, and you just say, well, this person has this range and can dash, but this person has no dash and has weak attack, or it must be close, whatever criteria you're using. If you're not looking at them overall, then it doesn't make any sense to create a tier based on these um, criteria of just one area. For example, you can say that Pup's AoE is not as good as Zuki's AoE, but you cannot say that Zuki is better than Pup just because she has a huger area of attack with more damage. I know it sounds weird saying that for firepower, but this is what I believe. So, what I did, I saw a tier list made recently by a couple of very experienced players who have the Decision Phase podcast. You should check it out if you want. Not hating on them. I think it's Avaki, Cranor, Sefil, Walalal, and Pepper Titan. Right, Walalal being the only one who had reached 10 characters with 1800 elo. This guy knows what he's doing, right? But to say that a certain character is better or worse overall than another character, or one character is not competitive, it's a whole mess. So what I did was I looked at their tier list for this Decision Phase podcast that they came up with, and I took their bottom tier characters, were Titus, Elle, Pup, and Aurora, and I matched them against their top tier characters, were Rask, Celeste, Lockwood, and Dr. Finn. Now I'm going to be controlling all of my characters on my team. Navron, that's me, Navron, Titus, Elle, Pup, and Aurora. I'm going against some level 4 bots. Now, I know there's a huge difference between bots and actual characters. Bots are pre-programmed to do certain things, and it's not the same as being in a live match. But I'm just going to show how these characters should be used, and together, they can actually be very powerful. I have default mods on my Titus. You can see them here. These are the default mods: Shield Breaker, Hamstring, Rallying Cry, Cheap Shot, and Executioner. They're not the best mods for Titus, not by a long shot. And of course, that too is opinion, right? They're not the best mods. There are several ways to actually play Titus, depending on how your playstyle fits the character and whether or not your playstyle is compatible with how the other teams are playing their playstyles of the character. You can get your mileage will vary, right? So let's start this match. Get this going. I have 40-second timers on. I hope I change that. 20 seconds is not enough to do all 4 characters' moves. Sometimes it's barely enough to do one, depending on your reaction time. I'm gonna take a sip of this drink right here, right? This ocean spray. And single, so I can drink out the bottle myself.
2, 1.
No one ever comes over because I'm lonely. Check out the lights. I have pink lights and anime posters in my room. It's crazy. It's crazy out here. I also have the cool changing lights, so yeah, there you go. So this should be fun. All right. So you start me off with Aurora. I want to go here. I got Pup. I'm gonna go there. Elle. I'm gonna go there.
No place for doubt.
Titus. I'm gonna go there. So I don't know where anyone is, so I'm going to assume someone's going to go for might. Sprint there, pup. So this will definitely throw people off. I will do this. Ah, I don't have. That's right. I don't have that mod.
I will not be denied.
So you still get 2 time banks per character. So I have up to 8 overtimes. So that's cool. Alright. Now why did I do this? Titus, we all know Titus is not, he's not very sustainable in frontline combat. Not as much as other characters are, that's for sure. And I wouldn't deny that. I wouldn't try to pretend like he is something that he isn't. But what he is very good at is dealing a whole bunch of damage and then quickly escaping while letting your fire powers take up the rest of the damage that they need to deal with.
Time for action.
Alright, there we go. Just giving a weekend with Aurora. Some more weekend in mites.
On the run.
Bet you didn't see that coming.
Alright, so they're focusing Titus. And Elle, apparently. I can't leave Aurora over there by herself. Let's do this. Let's move her up.
The cycle continues.
Pup is now here. You can dash. Which way do I want to dash? Doesn't matter. If I go this way, I get everybody. Do damage there as well. And let's get rid of Dr. Finn for now.
Let your actions speak.
So one horrible thing I do have a habit of doing when playing all 4 characters is clumping. I'm very, very bad at not clumping. But I know that's my playstyle, and so I act around it.
I'll give you one shot. Beat your makers.
Alright, so Celeste. Man, if I had that 15 that 15 knockback, it'd been nice. Alright, so she can't. Need to move her over there. I'm actually gonna pull Celeste.
A calculated risk.
Out of sight,
Alright.
out of mind.
See how this goes. So that Rask is not where I thought he'd be, but
Gonna strong arm them.
so there's one down. I don't know why I did that, but okay.
Not to self. Be sneakier. I wasn't done.
I'll take the 2 for 1. That's alright. Alright, so I got Elle over there.
We are one.
He's probably going to chase Elle, which is perfect, because I can bring him over here. Alright. So like I said, these are bots, and they're not the best representation of what a competitive game looks like. However, I still plan on showing how characters should be used, if you want their maximum effectiveness. Right? Me, and I say that as I'm not effectively using Aurora as I normally would in single player. Alright, let's head over there. Rask does not have... So normally this Rask would probably ult right here. Or, I'm sorry, not ult. He'd probably catalyst. But he's a bot, so he may not.
Moving forward.
Draw your last breath.
I almost forgot I had Titus, but I'm not going to dash forward with him just yet. And I know where Dr. Finn is, so that's good.
No hard, no fun. If you play dead, just ask.
My blood.
Perfect. So they don't know where Elle is. That's fine. If Aurora dies here, that's okay. I'm actually not going to worry about her catalyst right now. That way.
Indecision is dull.
One thing I do have to worry about is Lockwood's ult
First bullet's
about to
for
come
you.
up.
The second's a
It's really gonna
warning
suck.
for the others.
My sword is my only weapon.
Nowhere is safe.
The all 1, 2.
That's fine. That's fine.
Fishing for freelancers.
Floating on.
What am I gonna do here? Probably best I go there. Try that.
I've got the secret.
So I'm facing two ults with Titus. I didn't turtle tech.
Let me show you why I can
So I have no problem with that. That's fine.
fall into the abyss.
Being sneaky is overrated.
You're the
Alright.
main sicker.
Cool. I'm actually going to catalyst out here. Lockwood has dash. Catalyst right there.
I could do that.
I'm not even going to bother. If they stay, that's fine.
I am the agent of change.
And I forgot to use turtle tech at that time, actually. So they did dash, they survived. But Finn is not surviving.
I never leave you high and dry.
Now the scramble. Rask cannot ult. Rask actually can't do much here.
I could do that.
I meant to follow him.
I will take you all.
That's alright. It's okay, actually.
Let me show you how it's done.
Ha! Right between the eyes.
Yep. And I didn't move with Aurora either. I don't know what I'm doing. Jeez. I'm so concentrating on where people need to go that I'm not.
Punching above your weight.
Oh, where the opponents are going down, not even moving myself. It's crazy.
Whatever it takes.
This one's got some punch to it.
So this game was way easier than a competitive match would have been. There would have been a lot more catalysts. There would have been a lot more defending and proper positioning. But these are level 4 bots, and some of the devs can't be level 4 bots. I'm not gonna say anything about that, but you know, I'm saying like each Lancer is different. You can't say one Lancer is better than the other. I just beat some of what they considered to be the top tier Lancers, although they were bots, as Decision Phase's low tier or bottom tier Lancers, and the whole basically the whole message I'm trying to convey is that when you are considering a Lancer, and if you're new to the game, you're not going to know who's what. But when you're considering a Lancer, consider how you like to play, and then find the Lancer that best suits your file, your style. When I play, when I first started playing, I picked up Nyx, and Nyx is my favorite firepower by far. I play him all the time. I like to think I'm pretty good with him because he fits my style. Pup does not fit my style. I don't like that that proximity. When I play games, I don't like melee type characters, which is weird because Titus happens to be my favorite frontliner. But yeah, like I was saying, when you pick your Lancer, pick the style that you like the most. Find out what their potential is with different variety of play styles, and then when you go, if you solo queue, try to play the game as if you were carrying the team. And I say that because that makes you want to play to the best of your ability to make sure that you get the win. And if everyone does that, then you're all going to end up working together. But if you don't know your styles, or you don't know your skills, you don't know your mods, and you don't understand what the capabilities of what the strengths and weaknesses of your opponent are, then you are going to make bad decisions in your game, and you're just not going to win. You may even be a mistake. A couple of times I forgot to move. Just blanking out on what should I do next, because I'm thinking a turn ahead. What should I do next to make sure that the character does this or takes this much damage for another turn, or up for the next turn or the turn after. And sometimes you gotta think a move or two ahead, right? It's this basically a game of chess. So understand your strengths and weaknesses, your team's combined strengths and weaknesses. If I had 4 supports, you know, I'm not gonna expect it to do too much damage altogether. I'm expecting to support each other and whittle people down, right? Because they deal the least amount of damage comparatively to the other classes. If I know that my opponent team is all frontliners, then you should know how to deal with each of the frontliners' dashes and how to deal with their defenses. If you have a Rampart in your in your opponent, you know that, hey, he's probably going to wall if there's two people right behind him because he doesn't want the entire team taking damage, right? And stuff like that. And you act based on what you predict your opponent's going to do. Every turn you have to predict. And when you predict with your skills, your potential, you can outsmart any Lancer, any player, most players, with what you know and what you're capable of. So this has been the first episode of Anti-Tier Lists. Next time, I'll try level 5 Lancers with the next, level 5 bot, rather, with the next group that I come on, next tier list that I see. So bring your tier list, and I'll show you a tier list. It's Navron. I'm out.